Okay, we're back. We're back, a second half in full gear. Hopefully your seatbelts are already buckled up, Space Fams. Oh, yeah. All right. Where do we leave off? We finished Kansas, Michigan, Missouri, Washington. Next up, Virginia. First on that list is Virginia's 1st District. And the galactically preferred candidate here is a man by the name of Salam Bati. Wait, where is this? Where did I put this? Here we go. Okay, perfect. All right, Salam.
I'm Salam Bhatti, and I'm running for Congress right here in Virginia's 1st District. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I've got so many of these, and I've been an advocate for the working class my whole life. In Virginia, I led the fight to expand SNAP food assistance for over 25,000 working families, and I did this by uniting Republicans and Democrats with a unanimous vote. I led the expansion for free school meals for thousands of students across the Commonwealth. And I've also created a tool that over 1 million people have used nationwide that has unlocked tens of millions of dollars of benefits for them. As a child of immigrants, we grew up low income and we relied on programs like WIC and free school meals to get by. Through law school and for years afterwards, I suffered and struggled through poverty. And I promised myself that I would not let other people go through this, not in the wealthiest and most technologically advanced country in the world. And while Congress is gutting these programs right now, I have fought my entire life to serve the public. So we need fighters in Congress now more than ever. With my experience and with your support, we can flip the first on our way to flipping the House. This is a people powered campaign. So come visit us at salamforva.com and donate whatever you can because we are rejecting all corporate donations. As a lawyer who has been serving the public, I'm not here to make dollars. I'm here to make change. And as your friendly neighborhood congressional candidate, I can't wait to see you around the neighborhood.
Yes, indeed. This is Salam Bati, running in Virginia's 1st congressional district. It's a fairly red district, other than voting for Mark Warner in 2008, Abigail Spanberger in the recent governor's race. Fairly red district. Although, I will point this out, and this plays out across Virginia big time. Especially on like the East Coast. Like, I mean, I'm not even. I take it back. It's not just the East Coast, but there is something afoot here in Virginia. Is a region. What is that? You might be asking. Oh, that's right. Decision of Donald Trump in Washington, D.C., right next door, to slash government jobs in the tens of actually in the 6 figures of government jobs. I'm not saying they were all in Virginia. There's a bunch of people here who probably feeling all sorts of ways about that. I mean, that was the suggestion, that was the claim for why Abigail Spanberger won, is that there were so many angry government employees that they went against like 2 decades of voting and went, you know what? Putting a Democrat in the governor's office. I can't trust a Republican. Robert J. Whitman is the Republican in this race. He's going unchallenged straight to the general. Meanwhile, very hotly contested Democratic primary. 7 different candidates. I went through all of them. I think Salam here is the best of them. He is endorsed by a number of local leaders here, including Citizens Against APAC, Progressive Victory, and Impeachment is Patriotic. Now the issues. He wants Medicare for all, tax billionaires, And for there to be campaign finance reform. Yeah. You see why? Anyways, that last clip was from a year ago. This clip, last one I have for you on Salam, 4 months ago. Talking a little bit about where Salam came from.
My great aunt Hafiza disappeared and was never seen again. Hi everybody, it's Salam Bhatti, your friendly neighborhood congressional candidate with some news you can use. Today is International Women's Day, and this is the day that I like to think about my great aunt Hafiza. During the 1947 partition of India, her whole family was found murdered in their home, but her body wasn't found. When my grandfather told me this, and he only ever spoke about Hafiza twice in my life, to us, it ignited something in me that I realized what happened then was still happening today. So what can we do to fight back against that? And that's what propelled me to get into international women's rights law. However, as I went through law school and graduated, I learned that the things that were happening back then and around the world were also happening right here at home. I learned that women here are more disproportionately impacted by poverty, especially single moms of color. And so the work I was able to do at VPLC was essentially in honor of Hafiza, where we expanded SNAP for 25,000 families, expanded free school meals for tens of thousands of children, increased TANF cash assistance by historic amounts, not once but twice. This is the type of energy I seek to take into Congress, which is why my policy priorities are root busters, which is why we need Medicare for all, taxing billionaires, and getting big money and foreign interests out of our politics.
There you go, Salam Bhatti, the guy who's already with proven results, an international women's rights lawyer, running for Congress here in Virginia's 1st congressional district against like 6 other people. Hopefully he can take it down. It's gonna be rough going. I can't remember if I had a poll for this one. I don't have a poll for this seat. Unfortunately, not every single seat has publicly available polls. I assumed the candidates have polls, but I could not find one. But in my opinion, I went through the whole list. All 7 candidates. And Salam is the best. Vote for him if you're in Virginia's 1st. Which is, oh, fuck. Like I said, it's, weirdly shaped district. Did I say this? I can't remember if I said it. Is this weirdly shaped district on the Chesapeake Bay, I guess? What do you call this region? Is this Chesapeake Bay? Is this technically Chesapeake Bay? Whatever it is, historic triangle of Jamestown, Williamsburg, and Yorktown. Slightly north of Richmond. Just kind of like hugging Richmond, doing a little hug. Giving Richmond a little hug. Let Salam give you a hug. Seems like a nice guy. Yeah, that story about his aunt is horrifying. British partition of India, 1947. It's weird. It's weird how in the late 40s, Britain did a bunch of shit regarding drawing lines in land. And it led to utterly horrifying results across the planet.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
Yeah, it's not the only example I can think of. The late 40s. Where Britain was like, here is a country now. Where there wasn't one before.
What you talking about?
Okie dokie. Let's move on to Virginia's 2nd district. Another galactically endorsed candidate. Wait, did we look at Salam's? Yeah, we did. Right? We looked at his page. Dr. Naila Devanath. Here is Nyla's, here's a clip from Nyla's YouTube page 3 months ago. Why Virginia's second needs Dr. Nyla. Oh. Tell us, YouTube, why does Virginia need Dr. Nyla?
I mean, this woman is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen.
My parents came to this country as immigrants looking for a better life. They found it here in Hampton Roads, and for more than 40 years, this community has been my family's home. It's where I grew up, where I learned the meaning of service, and where I built my life as both a doctor and a lawyer. As a doctor, I've sat across from patients who waited too long to get care because it cost too much. I've seen families stretch prescriptions just to make them last. And as a lawyer, I've helped people navigate a healthcare system that feels complicated, expensive, and disconnected from real life.
Healthcare should not be this hard, and it should not be this expensive. No one should have to choose between seeing a doctor or paying their bills.
That's why lowering everyday costs and healthcare costs is personal to me. In Congress, I'll work to bring down rent, utilities, prescription drug prices, and stop insurance premiums from rising year after year, so families can actually afford to not only survive, but thrive. Our veterans answered the call to serve. We have a sacred duty to make sure they get timely, high-quality care, including mental health support, without delays, denials, or endless red tape.
And here's something else I believe. Washington needs a new perspective. For too long, the same voices have been making the same decisions, and families end up paying the price.
I'm not a career politician. I'm a doctor and a lawyer who spent my career listening, solving problems, and helping people through some of the hardest moments of their lives. I bring new ideas, real-world experience, and a deep belief that government should work for people, not special interests. When healthcare costs come down, when premiums stop rising, families can breathe easier. Small businesses can grow. Workers can change jobs without the fear of losing their healthcare. That's the kind of change that strengthens our entire community. I'm Dr. Neela Devnath. A new voice, a new perspective.
There you go. Neela? Maybe it's Neela. Neela Devanath. Dr. Neela Devanath. Doctor and a lawyer? I mean, if you're not impressed already, are you ever going to be? I mean, come on.
Come on!
Doctor and lawyer. Two. Most people are lucky to do one of those things. She did them both. You're like, nah, why not? I'll also be a lawyer. Okay, now Nyla's running here. Virginia's second congressional district, which is this weird strip of land in the sort of southeast corner of Virginia, which includes this weird little strip over here on the other side of the Chesapeake, as well as this thing down here, Virginia Beach, basically. Virginia Beach and everything to the left of it. To the west. Jesus, I need hydration. See, Space Hams, this is why we have the throne. You can buy me hydration, so I don't have to deal with this. Thankfully, I have some drinks left, I think. Hold on. Okay now. Anyway, yeah, second district, located here, represented by Republican Jennifer Kiggins. Neela, one of 4 people running in the Democratic primary. This is her website, her platform: universal health care, reproductive freedom, paid family leave, tax cuts for working families. Protect the workers, fully fund schools, support the veterans, invest in clean energy and rural communities, tax the rich, support term limits, no APAC money, and no corporate money. Don't forget free Palestine and abolishing ICE. That's why this woman's got the full galactic endorsement. I mean, I would have to be a psychopath. I'd have to be some sort of sick human being to look at this woman and be like, nah, what? I'm still skeptical. Doctor, lawyer, no PAC money, free Palestine, abolish ICE, and all that other shit. You gotta be kidding me. You shut up. You shut up, and you shut up right now. What was I saying? I'm trying to remember.
What, shut up.
Ah, yes, that's right. What? Shut up. Vote Dr. Neela. Okay, moving it on from Washington's 2nd to Washington's 3rd district. Actually, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? Washington. Moving from Virginia's 2nd to Virginia's 5th district, we are skipping the 3rd and the 4th district. 3rd and 4th are two incumbent Democrats with no primary challengers. Robert Scott in the 3rd, Jennifer McClellan in the 4th. In the 5th district, we got a galactic recommendation for you. I recommend that you vote for Suzanne Krzyzanowski. I think that's how you say it. Dr. Krzyzanowski. Two doctors. Do I have a clip for her? Ah, yes. A quick one here from WSET ABC 13 local from yesterday. On the race, Virginia's 5th district. Democrats making final pitches as the primary election nears.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Virginia's congressional primary elections are now just 1 week away. 3 Democrats are vying for the party's nomination in the 5th congressional district. And ABC 13's Allison Mullet is live in studio with why each candidate believes they deserve your vote.
Dana, the 3 candidates running for the Democratic nomination are Tom Perriello, Suzanne Krzyzanowski, and Rob Trzynski. Now, I spoke with all 3 of the candidates today to hear why they believe they're the right person to represent the party in November. Krzyzanowski, who goes as Dr. K, says making healthcare more affordable is at the top of her agenda. Trzynski hopes to push back against the president's agenda, and Perriello says he wants to provide the leadership he believes the district has been missing.
Yes, everybody's got their own pitches. Everybody wants your vote. Sorry, I had to do some weird shit with the volume there to try and get that local news clip up to snuff. Here's Virginia's 5th. Oopsies. How did I do that? Here's Virginia's 5th. This is in the central region of the state, currently represented by Republican John McGuire. And as you can see, 3 candidates in the race. Susan, I don't know if it's Krzyzanowski or Krzyzanowski. There's 2 Z's. Am I the asshole for thinking it's Krzyzanowski? That's just what I see when I look at that. Is Krzyzanowski. But maybe that's just me. Shit. This is not... Fuck. There's more Krzyzanowskis? How is there more Krzyzanowskis? That is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
I can barely pronounce it. You're telling me that you're telling me there's more? Anyway, here's her website. Healthcare crisis. We need a universal healthcare system that covers all of our citizens, whether we end up having a system that is a type of healthcare savings account for each person or a baseline of government coverage supplemented by small private plans. I know we can create a system that is better than what we have now and where nobody needs to fear going bankrupt if their appendix bursts. And I am sure we can design a system where everyone has some skin in the game, such as a modest copay, to deter abuse of the system. Not only would a universal system be good for each person, but it would be good for the economy. Anyways, do you want universal health care? However that happens. And on the other issues, economy. She wants to change our tax system so the wealthiest members of society are contributing a bigger proportion of out of their excess. We want to continue to have a functioning country and not to have our children and grandchildren saddled by debt. Some people have proposed a wealth tax, whatever else. Energy and environment. Changing climate will affect our lives in many ways. Besides the environmental problems, our economy needs to change to adapt our new reality. Yep. You see what I'm saying? She's hitting a lot of good stuff here. However, she's not an abolish ICE. She's an ICE reformist. Yeah, sad to say, no candidate is made perfect. She also has a very lackluster take on Gaza. Does not refer to what is happening as a genocide. Instead, a humanitarian catastrophe. He's kind of hit and miss. I think it's obvious she's pro-abortion. She needs more to get the full galactic endorse, but she's got the recommend out of these three weirdos running in Virginia's third, right? It's out of these three. I went through them. She's the best. I'm just going based on what I saw. If I'm wrong, if you think I'm wrong, hit back. But I did do a little bit of research over here. Okay, Virginia, write that down for later. Write it down for later, just in case it comes up. It's gonna be helpful, I promise. All right. Now Virginia's 6th and 7th districts, no democracy. Well, not any left, at least. There was a primary, technically, in the 6th, but there's going to be no voting because there's now only one individual left. That is Beth Macy going to the general to face the Republican in that race, and I think an independent candidate as well. In the 7th, it's incumbent Democrat Eugene Vindman. Also no challenger in the primary going to the general. And in Virginia's 8th, we do have a little bit of democracy. A little primary happening here. How many people are running in this race again? Trying to remember. Republican, there's no primary, but there are 5 Democrats running 4 Democrats running to unseat incumbent Democrat Donald Sternoff Bayer Jr. And the one with the galactic recommendation. Actually, is this a full endorse? I can't remember now. I think this might be a full galactic endorse. Mo Sepaldine. Here's a clip. Oh, wait. This is in the wrong order. This is totally in the wrong order. How did I do this? It's a terrible job. I did a really, really bad job. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Why? I've been foisted by my own bedard. You know, this is what happens when you're just a slave to democracy and you refuse to give up. Insist on doing electoralism. Yeah, look, Space Hams, they can't all be winners, okay? I see some of you. Yeah, look. Once again, like I said, they can't all be winners. It's just a fact of life. I've said it so many times now. You'd think you would have realized this. But democracy is a process. This is like a slow, kind of annoying sometimes, but ultimately rewarding if you win process. Hopefully. And it's not just, you know, House races, right? It's Senate races, it's governor's races, it's state Senate races. It's city council races. It's AG's races. I mean, and we just got to be there for it over and over again at every opportunity. And it is by doing that we get the best result. You know, you don't win one race and then just say, that's it. You can't do that. You literally can't do that. That is how you get incumbent Democrats sitting around for 30 years, slowly doing less and less and taking more and more money from people who don't have any of your interests in mind. Right? Why I'm now doing the slow trudge of going through all of these people. Some of them trash. Some of them great. Here's one guy with the full galactic endorsement. Mo Sepaldine, running for Virginia's 8th District. Here's Mo 7 months ago on his YouTube channel.
Quick question. Does your member of Congress take money from AIPAC? Because I don't. Whoever funds you usually runs you. Your member of Congress should be answering to you, not AIPAC or any other corporate PAC. My campaign is fully funded by you, not any special interests, especially the ones that fund genocide. Since October 2023, Congress has sent $22 billion of your tax money to fund Israel's war on Gaza. That's roughly 70% of how much Israel spent on its war. You deserve a representative who will use your tax money to pay for Medicare for all, more affordable housing, cheaper and healthier groceries, not killing innocent children abroad. If you agree with me, check out my platform at moforcongress.com.
Mo for Congress.com, you say? Okay, don't tempt me with a good time. But first, here's a look at Virginia's 8th District. Blue District, represented by Don Bayer, located in the top northeast corner of the state. 5 people running in this race. 4 looking to unseat Donald, Lorena Bruner, Michael Duffin, Adam Dunnigan, and Mo. Oh boy. And Mo's got quite the platform here. That's why he's got the full endorse. Medicare for all. Check. Housing affordability. Check. Universal child care. Check. protecting workers and living wages. A check. Fighting for the environment and the stop to the climate crisis. Oh, and Virginia hosts more data centers than any other state. Mo wants to shut it down. Moratorium. Check. Green New Deal. Democracy. Jesus Christ.
I made a huge, tiny mistake.
This is what I get for reading a bunch of shit that I haven't necessarily memorized at a time. Just like ad nauseum for hours on end. Democracy and civil liberties. Health and affordable food. But the foreign policy. Israel-Palestine. Israel is committing genocide in Gaza.
Illegal.
Yep. The war in Iran is unconstitutional.
Illegal.
The RSF is carrying out a massive atrocities in Sudan. Also true.
Illegal.
And the UAE is funding it. Oh, so many true things on this website. So many true things. Wait, there's another one. Ukraine. Russia's invasion is also illegal.
Illegal.
So much consistency, it's overwhelming. Illegal and brutal. Mo supports continued help that protects civilians and strengthens Ukraine's defense, along with a diplomatic plan to end the war. Wait, what?
What you drum about?
Diplomacy? What in the hell is that? What in the hell is diplomacy? I don't know. That was confusing. I had too many syllables. All right. Two more clips on Mo and Virginia's 8th. This one's from 7 days ago.
My name is Mo Saifuddin. I'm the son of Sudanese refugees. I'm running for Congress for two reasons: the affordability crisis and the accountability crisis. Affordability means Medicare for all, universal child care, affordable housing. I know what it's like to go most of your life without health insurance. I've been there. I know the struggles. That is why I support Medicare for all. One single payer, and your job does not have to be tied to your health insurance. Early vote.
I mean, he's talking about healthcare. I need it more than ever. I'm literally dying over here. Jesus Christ.
Help! Help! I'm being repressed!
But there's Mo Saifuddin. Great platform. Son of Sudanese immigrants. Looking to represent you, Virginia. Here's the latest on this congressional race. In an interview with Mo at WUSA 9 from earlier today. Wait, puppy treat. What's happening? You can't wait until our next ribbon drop pact. Let's not and say we did it. Let's not and say, I was not paying attention over here to Twitch for just 2 seconds, and then just pandemonium. Tawaz Actual, thank you for feeding the space corgi like you know she loves those fake puppy donuts. She thinks they're real. She thinks she's people. It's really cute. Let's be real. It's very cute. Oh, what? I plugged my phone in. How does that not charge? This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Don't you hate it? Like, does it ever happen, people, like, where you plug in the phone, you're sure it's charging, you set it back down, you start doing shit, you see a little flash out of the corner of your eye, and you realize you didn't plug in the phone. It's not charging, and now it's dead. Goddamn disaster, and it's literally what just happened to me. Oh, pray for me, Space Argentina. I don't know why I said Space Argentina. I was just thinking of that song. I don't know why I was thinking about that song. I don't know why it was in my head. Oh, I never left you. All right, here's WUSA 9 CBS local 6 hours ago. This is some super up-to-date.
Mr. Seyfedin served on the Alexandria City Council from 2019 to 2021. He is a former attorney at the U.S. Department of Labor, and he served on nonprofit boards working to expand healthcare access in Sudan. Welcome, Mr. Seyfedin. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's great to be with you.
This is a really good opportunity for our viewers to get to know you. And I wanted to talk about this because you previously worked on the Alexandria City Council and you just resigned as a lawyer in the federal government in protest of the Trump administration. Why did you make that decision and why now?
Yeah, well, for two reasons. It's the affordability crisis and the accountability crisis. I saw what the Trump administration did to our democracy and our civil servants, and then the memo started coming down as to what the department was going to be doing, and that's not why I became a lawyer. So I decided to take the fight to them, and that's why I decided to run for Congress.
Does it make your knees knock when you put in that resignation? I mean, surely, what was the moment you knew that you were?
Yeah, you know, making a decision like that is not easy. I am a caretaker of two elderly parents, so it's a financial burden. But, you know, I came to this country as a refugee fleeing a dictatorship, and what I saw this administration doing followed that sort of playbook, and I was not going to stand for it. I already fled one country. I was not going to flee another.
Sounds like Mo Sepulveda is saying the United States is turning into Sudan.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
And you know what? You know, things aren't great right now. And I really hope we don't come to that place. Maybe Mo can prevent it. I'm just going to skip towards the end of this. Seems like a very smart guy.
Point. So more body cameras, things like that, less road stops, less traffic stops.
Yeah.
Do you, or are you kind of to the point where you're like, no, forget all that. I want to just simply abolish.
Yeah. Well, you cannot reform this agency. It's killing people in broad daylight. We've already seen them kill people on cameras and nothing has been done about it. In fact, the president and his administration call those people terrorists. So you can't really reform that. You have the videos. You're not doing anything to prosecute them. I think we get rid of ICE. We come up with a new agency and then make sure that it's focused on humanely enforcing the laws that we have and get away from this bad brand. I will tell you that ICE, since its formation during the Bush era, has had a budget of over $400 billion and hasn't achieved its objective. From a fiscal point of view, it makes no sense. From a humane perspective, it makes no sense. From a legal perspective, it is awful. It has to be stopped.
Do you support deporting people who are in the country illegally and have been convicted of violent crimes?
So if you've been convicted of a violent crime and you go through due process and then the court determines that you must leave, then I support that as an attorney. But I do not support rounding up people randomly on the street and making up fake charges to send them off and not following court rules. This agency has been called out by judges all over the country that this should be a headline in every news station or paper that the presidency or the executive branch is not following judicial orders, which is a constitutional crisis.
Yeah, you see what I mean about Mo? Not only does his policy platform, just ring bells all over the place, he's brilliant. He can just sit here and explain these things up and down, no problems. That's why he gets the full galactic endorse here in Virginia's 8th against Donald Byer, incumbent Democrat who's been sitting around for a decade doing fuck all. Taking money from AIPAC and other corporate interests. All right. On to... Hold on, let me make sure I get this right. To Virginia's 9th? Wait. Yeah. Okay, all right. Yep. Let's go here to Virginia's 9th. Galactically approved candidate Adam Murphy, who launched his campaign 6 months ago with, I guess, this video right here.
Adam Murphy, a Democratic candidate for Congress in the 9th District, officially began his launch tour today at the South County Library in Roanoke. Murphy is currently running for the Democratic nomination to run against incumbent Morgan Griffith and officially filed his campaign last year. This is Murphy's first entrance into politics, and he plans to run on a platform that will put the people of Southwest Virginia first.
For me, it's about bringing down the cost of living and about bringing back common sense policies that serve people over corporations. So what I mean by that is things like Medicare for All, which will save this country trillions of dollars over the long run.
Murphy plans to tour across every county and independent city in the 9th District as part of his town hall tour. He will be facing Joy Powers in this year's Democratic primary.
Okay, now I got one more clip from Adam. Well, not from Adam, but on Adam of a different station. That was WSLS. This next one's going to be from WVT. But I just want to get a bit of a grasp on the campaign here. You know, you may have already heard Adam Murphy say Medicare for All in there. There's one of our keywords, key phrases we're looking for from galactic candidates. Here's Virginia's district, was the southwest corner, sort of the wedge of Virginia, if you will. Stuck between, what is that? West Virginia and Tennessee, I think, and North Carolina, I think. So just wedged between like multiple states. Currently represented by Republican Morgan Griffith, who is going unchallenged to the general. But 3 people left in the Democratic Party. One person's already dropped out. Adam Murphy is my preferred candidate here. Got a great platform, I think. Medicare for All, universal parental leave, direct community investment, a living wage, building a best future, whatever that means.
Be best.
Be best.
Be best. Be best.
Rural health care support, $10,000 first-time homeowner credit. Protecting constitutional rights. Look at all these. Limit and label AI, LGBTQ plus rights. Stewarding our resources. Rural broadband access. Strengthen unions. Now you'll notice, no foreign policy. And as a result, not a full endorsement, but damn, it's a good domestic policy. Damn, it's a good domestic policy from Adam here. And everybody else in this race, Douglas Crockett, Joy Powers, they're no better. They're no better. In fact, in my opinion, they're worse.
Holy Toledo.
All right, WUVT 90.7 FM. From 7 months ago in an interview with Adam Murphy.
Good afternoon, New River Valley. I'm Mary Peyton Marble, News Director at WUVT FM 90.7 Blacksburg, here with congressional candidate Adam Murphy for the 2026 election. Hello, Mr. Murphy. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing? Thanks for having us.
I'm doing well. I'm so glad you got to come to Virginia Tech campus, to Squire Student Center here at WUVT to speak with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I always love coming out to Blacksburg and Virginia Tech. It's a beautiful area, and it's so cool seeing people out and enjoying the day.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
It's really nice. It's a pretty day, surprising. It's been pretty cold here, so I'm glad it's a nice day.
Yep.
That you got to come. I want to first begin with election night 2025. This past 2 weeks ago? Yeah. Democrats swept in Virginia with former Democratic Republican Abigail Spanberger defeating Lieutenant Governor candidate Republican Winsome Earl Sears in the race for the Virginia governorship, and Senator Ghazala Hashmi topped conservative talk show host John Reed with the lieutenant governor's race, and former state delegate Jay Jones unseated incumbent Attorney General Jason Miyares in a close contest clouded by controversy. How did you spend election night?
Well, election night, I was actually poll greeting at my local precincts. I was trying to help out with my community in our area. It's always important to do those roles. They're kind of thankless in a lot of ways, but they're some of the most important, engaging with your community, getting people out to vote. So that was kind of what I did leading up to the actual election. And then the day of the election, I got, like most people, we got online, we were watching the results, and it was looking very positive. I mean, I was very happy with the end results. It was a huge sweep. And like you said, there were some races that seemed like they might be a little bit more close, but they ended up being, Jay Jones won by like 5 points.
Yeah.
Spanberger won by like 16. I mean, these were huge wins. And I think it's a sign that shows that the American people really want people to fight for their future, and that what they're seeing right now, they're not getting. And they saw that right now in the Democratic Party. And I think that they need to continue that energy if they want to continue to win.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we spent election night here at WUV.
Yeah, and it seems like Adam's got a pretty good vision here at home. What people want. I guess I'll just skip to the very end of this. Damn, I'm crushing it. I think is that the last one? Is this the last one in Virginia? Oh, no. Yeah. Wait, no, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because the rest of them are no challenge. Damn, okay, we'll let Adam finish it out here. Whoopsies, this is a little too far.
It's a pretty nice area.
Nicer area, yeah. Better schools.
And it's so nice and beautiful here. I think like some people I think don't understand coming from other perspectives, right? If you've maybe grown up it your whole life, you have a certain view on it. But if you haven't grown up here, it is very different than most places in the world. Not just the United States, in the world. Appalachia is very special. It's the oldest place on earth. Like it's super cool.
Yeah. We're coming to the end of my prepared questions.
Okay.
I do have one final.
Have you caught that? That's Adam Murphy talking about how much he loves Appalachia. He thinks it's great. He sounds like the opposite of J.D. Vance, who thinks that Appalachia is the pit of hell. The Mountain Dew drinking pit of hell.
Question I like to end these types of interviews on. If you were to be elected, what do you want to be remembered by from your time in office?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would probably just want it to be. I want to be measured by how much good work I got done, and by good work that means how many things did I do that directly benefited Americans' lives and their futures. Not necessarily corporations, not necessarily big companies or anything, but very specifically, how many Americans' lives did I directly help and improve? That's how I'd want to be judged, I think, if I got elected, is how much help have we actually done? And I'd want people to hold me accountable to that. I know what I'm promising. I understand what it might sound like. I want people to hold me accountable because I look at this and go, people deserve this better future. And if the least I can do is go fight for it, I'm going to go fight for it.
There you go. Adam Murphy running in Virginia's 9th, the last of the elections that we're covering in Virginia, because in the 10th and 11th, and for, what was that, Senate? Yeah, and in the Senate, you got no primaries happening. 10th is Suhas Subramaniam, no challenger incumbent. James Walkinshaw, no challenger incumbent in the 11th. And Mark Warner, no challenger incumbent for Senate.